sorry about that. Okay.
Take your time, friend.
Okay, so here's one of the songs I'm working on. It's not recorded. It's just the beat. Uh. Lately praying to God, hoping my sins forgiven. Hit a lick on this bitch and tell him just stop the bitching. Never smile, my world is black with a bunch of ditches. If I think about it, I get depressed and I need your interest. I'm trying to focus, stay positive when I know I can't. And then look at you like how you got it, my tummy ache. I'm trying to rob the robber. I got some scores to settle. Like why you take little shorty, her soul was golden medal. And I can't look my brother's mother in the eye, knowing that she wanted me to save him, but I let him die. Man, I swear I fucking tried, but ain't move quick enough for lies and ain't move fast enough to bullet. I be screaming out like why, young and looking for what instant evil models it ain't out. I'm trying to get this shit together, but the cycle tends to what I wanna stop losing. It's feeling so useless, and it get regurgitated. My niggas close to taking they own lives, cause it's hard to keep the faith. Somebody dies cause it's hard to keep the faith. Fuck it, I'm done waiting, my knees, I'm done praying, saying God can judge me to court, I'm done playing. Fuck it, I'm done waiting, my knees, I'm done praying, saying God can judge me to court, I'm done playing. Middle finger to this world, that's how I'm feeling, bitch. I get shit on and then ignite it with my feelings, bitch. Cause when my season come, I make sure pain I don't forget. And stay solid, nigga, we make sure that their death is quick. And shorty dry your watch, stand up straight, don't you show them shit. Keep that faith in you so you can keep the faith in me. But if you ever left a nigga that got faith in me, I was staring down a barrel like it couldn't be. So if you lose your hope, my nigga, then just look at me. How many times I beat the odds, that just made me strong. That's why I'm cocky, bitch, I know it. If I die today, my seed to make sure that I'm thriving. Death can't stop my way, because it's hard. Somebody dies because it's hard to keep the faith. That's it.
And so,
That's great.
you know, but if somebody, whenever somebody does make anything purely good, because it's supposed to help everyone, somebody is gonna try to find a way.
Somebody somewhere is like, how can I fuck these motherfuckers up today?
Right. Damn.
I'm gonna get these motherfuckers.
Like somebody learned how to make a cake with no calories. And it's still delicious and it's real with all the real ingredients. How can I turn this into something that will kill everybody I know? Like somebody is always like, I try not to be that pessimistic, but it's real. Like there's always somebody or some people. It's just like, let me make this extra good thing extra bad.
You know what that kind of like reminds me of? Not to go back to it, but just our conversation over the Death Note.
Oh.
Yeah. And how it was like, my fault. It was like Light was given this book and it was made to be, I guess, a regulator of people's lives. And then on the flip side, he also felt like he was doing a lot of good with his device. So it comes down to like the progression we see in our society, like from these people that can have good intentions, and even something with pure intentions could be seen as good. Like if you create that cake with no calories or whatever, you know, maybe somebody wanted some calories, you know, who knows? But either way, fuck it, I'm gonna just say this. That damn, the chip seed,
Still on your mind?
It's still on my mind.
But first, let me eat this chip.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. The whole shit was over dramatic. I don't care what Stick says. I just want to say that for the record. And I ain't gonna hold you. Like, as I was watching it, because I watched it again. It was done, the conversation. Well, I watched the first episode. I realized that you can have like the greatest intentions,
Mm-hmm.
but someone somewhere is always gonna view it as bad. Like it doesn't even have to be used as a bad thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter how much good you try to put, how much positive energy you try to put into the world. Somebody's always gonna hate you for being you, and be that negative force to it. But I think that really stems from a problem in their inner self.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you know there's certain people who don't like my character or whatever, and for me, just being who I am, I I don't really have a problem with it, but I can see how somebody could hate you for simply doing what you were doing, or not like you for doing what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, as long as I'm satisfied with what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. And I feel as though whoever is progressing, society, that's all it would matter. That would matter as long as you're delivering something that's good and it's positive and you know that it's positive. And all the other shit doesn't matter. But even if you like tried your hardest to like satisfy everybody, you never can. It's just it's pointless.
That's a fact. Yeah, I think I learned that at a young age. That you can't. I mean, I can't even say I mean, I guess it was drilled into me by my mother. It's like, you know, I mean, she's one of those people that like, you know, like I told you about. I don't know if you met my mom, but
No.
I told you about my mom.
I talked to her on the phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. But you can kind of get a glimpse of what she's kind of like. Like she, you know, she's a little fiery woman. You know what I'm saying? And so she's always been pretty outspoken, pretty headstrong, and you know, when I say a little out there, I don't mean to like that in a negative way, but like she's always been the woman that you could count on to not like act like a lady as far as like, you know, stand like she's not gonna sit there and be quiet, you know what I'm saying, when you expect her to, you know. She's going if she believes she right, you gonna hear it all night. It's just like not even lying. And so like she always drilled into us like, you know, like people aren't gonna like you. That's okay. You don't have to like them. And she would even tell us like some of your family members might not like you. That's alright. You don't have to like them. She would tell us as siblings, like, y'all don't have to like each other, but y'all better love each other and respect each other and be there for each other. And like, you know, I ain't gonna argue about saying that to a child is supposed to do or not, but it got home enough to me where it's like I've always felt comfortable with the idea of people not liking me almost too much. I feel like, cause like I feel like in order to socialize more, and I do a lot better at it now, but I feel like there's a degree of getting people to like you and like being personable that you kind of need to like socialize and network and stuff. And so if you are already coming with that energy, like, oh, I don't give a fuck, y'all don't have to like me or whatever. Like that's definitely where some arrogance and stuff comes in. So I've had to like knock back that wall of feeling that way. It's like, I mean, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who don't like me or not. Like I know I can be a personable and likable person, but at the end of the day, The only people I care about if they like me or not is my little cousin and my nephew. Other than that, oh yeah, and my other little cousin. But like between out of them niggas, everybody else.
Fuck.
I ain't gonna say all that because I can't say that to my grandma.
Oh,
but like, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, Grandma. Sorry.
I ain't gonna say all that. But at the end of the day, even if she had a problem with me as a person, which she doesn't, but like even if she did, like that'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be what it is. You know, I'm not gonna stop living my life. You know, I'm hard on myself enough. I don't need to be sweating myself about what somebody else is thinking about me because I do enough of that on my own.
I did have a question though, like something else I was thinking about today. Like, all right, so like the person who is like the sociable person, 'cause I do the same shit. Is that a different person from, I guess, when you're alone by yourself and you don't want to be around as many people? You feel me?
You mean like in general or me specifically?
Just in general, because I know it was something I was thinking about. Because for me, when I was younger, I used to be like real energetic. I was real bouncy, off the walls type shit. Mom used to tell me to calm down, beat my ass, all that other shit. And then it changed for me when I came across like somewhat of a father figure, and he was basically like, he was just real chill. He was always chill, and I would say some part of me absorbed that nature of just, it wasn't just him, just like the father figures I would just come across in life and how they handled life. And over time, I chilled out as a means to cope.
Is it a what?
As a means to cope
okay.
with just everything else that I had going on at that time, because it was situations that I felt a lot of pressure from my mother, my family, or my friends, and the men in my life, they were just real calm, cool, and collected, like 100% at a time, and that became a part of me. But that energetic part didn't die. It just kind of, I guess, like got locked away, if that's the right word. Yeah, it got locked away, and it became something I could bring out when I was comfortable and I was, I guess, familiar with people. I got trust in them. So I asked, is it like two different people, or is it just like the same person just with different modes for you?
Clarification. Okay. You do so.
Is it?
Are you, and you're asking about my perception of people in general, right?
Just
of the average person, or
not the average person.
Okay.
But when you go out and you try to socialize, right? Versus when you're by yourself and around the people you love, are they two different people?
Oh, yeah, me specifically, hell yeah.
Oh.
like Nicole Lerner is the publicly who most people meet, I guess. So you'll see me be more energetic, a little more bubbly, maybe a little more friendly, a little more interested in conversation. But like me personally, it's getting a little dark.
It's a little
dark. But I mean, yeah, it's two different people, because like when I'm in the house, or I mean not even in the house, most of the time, yeah, I'm like to myself. I don't talk, be talked to, and I rejuvenize off of quietness. Like that's how I, get back to normal. Like if I have too many social days in a row, like I just be wanting to fight somebody because like I need my quiet time, and I need at least 2 or 3 days in a row, if not a week, of just straight up minimal socialization because I need to be off of people for a little bit. But yeah, Nicole Lerner, there's 2 different people. I don't know. I wonder how many other people. I mean, I know like people kind of do the code switch, or maybe a mode switching where you might be different in certain circumstances. But I don't know. I feel like somebody like my sister who is like extroverted, talks a lot. You know what I'm saying? Really spontaneous. She I don't think she has 2 modes. I think she's just like, always on. And I mean, she definitely has her down days, I guess, because we all do. Right. But as far as like socially, she'll socialize the same way she'll socialize with me is the same way she'll socialize with you and everybody else. Like she makes friends very easily and stuff like that. Like she'll go somewhere she's never been before and be cool with like 20 people by the time she leaves.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those type of people make me nervous.
They do. I think we had this conversation before.
Yeah.
They make me nervous too. It's just like, what are you up to? Like, what are you doing? It's just like,
I don't know if
why am I so paranoid?
It's nothing they did. They're just
Thanks.
being themselves. It's just I don't feel comfortable when I talk to somebody and they talk to everybody on the planet the same way. It's just I don't know. I feel like if I have a connection with you, then our conversation should be on that level. If it's just banter, our conversation should stay on that level. But I meant to ask you about the general part too. I guess you feel as though people in the world do it, like have that 2 mode switch type shit.
I think a lot of people do. I can't say if I think everybody does, because like I said, I think some people are like my sister, where socially they're like the same in most circumstances, and then you have people who are like really quiet, timid all the time, where they don't really switch up in their environment, and then you have people which just certain environments bring certain things out of them. Like you'll see people who are most of the time are like cold in the house. But then they pull up to the board game spot and they out there flipping cards, flipping tables at the Uno game, just like.
Fuck out of here, Ben. I was a 5.
You cannot stack 5, 7, 5, even if they're the same color. So,
no color trains.
No color trains. Yeah, so like, it's definitely environmental, I feel like, for a lot of people as far as when they switch their personalities. But I don't know. That'd be an interesting thing to figure out more about people.
Just if they do that.
Yeah, because I definitely do it. And I mean, I can't function without doing it. Because if I allow just my regular self to be in social spaces, then that's not going to be healthy for like my anxiety, like my paranoia, all that. And so, and then this is why I don't remember a lot of my mid-20s, because most of the time I had to drink through all of it. Like, I don't really remember a lot of shit in that time period because, and not that I would be drunk, like I wouldn't be wasted. Like I wouldn't be, for that one last night. But yeah, it wasn't that I'd be like falling over, blackout drunk or nothing like that. But I just needed to drink in order to be social. so that I could be comfortable around people. And so that took a while to break that habit, you know. And I still don't think I broke it now. I mean, now niggas ain't going nowhere. But like, but before that, I think it was just like I'm just not going out places. Like, you know, like if I don't have to be there, I'm not going. Or if I'm not going to support one of y'all, then you know why am I in there? I don't perform no more. So
You should.
I should, you know.
The joints you played me before.
The best rapper alive.
That's right. Well,
Soon to be best singer alive. So I'm just couldn't do that.
I feel you. Of course not with the drinking, because for me, I guess my drinking is just doing a good job. When I do a good job, or if I can talk to a female,
Yeah.
that's when the juice comes in.
Okay.
That's when it comes in.
Yeah. I don't want to say I wish I had that.
You don't get that like performance high?
No, not really.
Really?
I don't think so.
You never did. You was doing a show and you rocked the mic.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for most of it, I was kind of blasphemous.
You was already there.
But no, actually, because I did have a rule. I didn't really drink like that before I performed, because I would forget my shit. But I was also really good at freestyling back then, so I would forget shit.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, nobody would notice because I could just flow it out.
Yeah.
But after the performance, I went straight to the bar. Like maybe I was like, I couldn't handle that. Like maybe that's what it was. Maybe I couldn't handle the adrenaline, and the drinking kind of numbed it. But I don't know. I don't think I ever got a performance high. I get studio highs. Like that's when I feel like really happy, when I'm like in the studio.
I get that. It's the same thing. Like for me, like if I do a good job, if I make a good song, then I get a little hot. Then I want to talk to people. But until I make that song and I see people's reaction, I'm not unless it's like a really good one. Like when I was making what was it called? When I was making a house music joint.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I know I've done something. I don't need a reaction.
Did I move the camera?
20 years old, still wondering what life is. Like I can't just sleep with this bed typing. I've been on my shit on the toilet typing. If I die tonight, it was me as Elvis. Tell this children as hard as I go. Unless I see Rosie, yo, in the dawn, all my aspirations get Trump Nobel Prize. Even if I preach peace, only want war from the West and the Midi. A-rap won't do it, but gas don't move it. Who gon' do it? Streets is a hell. Fuck it, I do it. Make a little peace. Brother, that a peace. What's another problem? I used to go to college. I ain't in jail. All these regrets. Girlfriend stress, everyday stress, that is not real. You look like a meal, James for the bills. Bank loans, ain't dope, on the interest. Got a better quest, why the interest in my body, though. Won't do doing, I can't pay the rest of that shit to me. You got that free love, that what I need, love. You got that free love, that what I need, love. You got that free love, that what I need, love. Ain't nothing free love. Ain't nothing free love. Who don't you know? Who don't you know? Who don't you know? Who don't you know? Brothers, I want it. I'm sorry. You're so light. I play like Atari, Atari, Atari.
Classic. Classic.
So what?
Classic.
Thank you.
Before we finish talking, I have to insert a note that I am now addicted to those Nutter Butter wafer things.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's very dangerous, a very dangerous snack.
I'm sorry.
It's just, who knew that just peanut butter in a wafer was just so delicious. 'Cause that's all it is. But you know what? I was like, you know what? This is really good. I need to, go back in the day and just eat the old-fashioned peanut butter between the saltine situation. It's just not the same. And that Nutter Butter peanut butter is just a league of its own.
Oh yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's just the sugar and all the other fake shit that's in there. But it's just, you're not getting that magic with Jif. Jif, I think that's what it's called.
Jif,
Right?
Reese's
You're not-
peanut butter.
You're not getting that peanut butter with that flavor with the regular peanut butter and saltine.
It's something about just like the way that they put peanut butter like between and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make sense, bro.
It's just
But
it's heavenly.
alright. So should we continue?
Yeah, you was talking about house music, and I had something, but I don't remember.
Alright. So yeah, it's just like for me, I always get the high through the performance, and then when it comes to the studio, it's like equivalent to the same thing because when I was making house music, I remember like doing it without the auto tune, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and just because I originally wrote that song to another beat in another style, but I lost that beat, so I had to just rewrite it. I don't know what happened, but I lost it. And when I finished recording it, I was like, yeah, this is a slapper right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I showed it to everybody in the house, and a couple people had their feelings about it, which was whatever. But
What was the feelings about it?
it wasn't a banger. That was what was being said about it. My singing was off. Now keep in mind when they heard it, this is with the autotune. What else?
Well, on the part when you're like in my house, right?
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part.
Okay. Not really a singing thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
It's just you talking, but like holding the tone of your voice.
yeah, but unfortunately, it still was said. I didn't change anything upon the release. I just kept everything the same, and then it got the reaction. But I really wrote the first version of that song just based on what was going on at the time, and I tried to make something that wasn't as, I guess, wasn't the same mood as the previous project that I had dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to make sure that I kept my integrity as like a lyricist on the track. That was really important to me. Now it's not so important because I know shit, other things, but back then it was like a thing. Plus, when we made a track,
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of as if you were competing against somebody,
Mm-hmm.
but you weren't, because you wanted to make a track that everyone in the house could vibe with,
Mm-hmm.
and you also wanted to make a track that when you recorded it, it was gonna sound good. So it was a different energy. Plus, we all wanted to like keep that lyrics integrity on our tracks and be true to that. But yeah, the high really came when I released it. That's when it was like, it was different. Because then it was, oh, alright, they really fucking with it. So, that was cool. And then, I guess to do the same thing with Deep is really cool as well. I thought I was finished, to be honest. I thought I was done.
Done music completely?
Not so much music completely, but just what is it? Making a song as big as house music, as weird as that sounds. Cause I was just, cause the shit I was making before, it was all, I never tried to make a song that gets people moving or whatever, or they could vibe to. I always just wrote songs that I could test my lyrical ability to. And after that, I was thinking to myself, I don't think I got this in me again. And then, of course, like later down the line, I ended up taking a little break from rap. But the intention of taking the break was never to like fully quit. Even though, I'm not gonna lie, there was definitely times where I thought to myself, like, it might be time to go ahead and be a farmer. Just farm strawberries, fuck it.
I thought you were moving to like Connecticut.
That was the plan. But shit fell through with that. I don't want to bring up another topic, but I had recently discovered something about myself that I was unaware of. But I'm gonna just try to keep on house music for now.
Okay.
Do you remember your question at all?
I do actually.
All right.
Why does the high come after, like, after people listen to it and respond to it?
Okay, so it's different because it's levels to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I make a good song and I know it's a good song, like, best example, it was a song I recorded with Miss Gray recently, and I knew it was hard as I was laying it down. And it's one of them songs, it's not for the club or for even people to move, it's just like a lyrical song. And then when I hopped out, that high was amplified. But it comes because almost because of recognition.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, I've been just freestyling so long, and I recently discovered this as I want to say 2 days ago, where apparently the way people have been writing their songs, or at least the way Biggie Smalls was writing his songs, is he would lay down the hook as soon as he heard the beat, and then the rest of the song would come. I've been doing that shit since I was like 13 years old, just like always laying down the hook and then freestyling the rest of the song. But I would never write it because I wanted to be a good writer, and I thought you had to write the entire song in its entirety before you made the song. Yeah, so for me, the recognition is important because it basically says to me, like, okay, this style that I went for was appreciated by these people. It's not so much as I'm going for it, but it's nice to have that recognition for when you make something and you do it in a different style, or you've been doing it in this style for a long time. Like the deep joint I just dropped, like I wrote it that one in a different way. I actually freestyled the chorus, I freestyled the verse, and I just like recorded the melodies on the phone I get.
Yeah.
And then I just insert the words and shit. So to see that reaction, like in the studio, it's like, okay, I wasn't wrong. I was right. I just gotta keep doing that shit that I was already doing. Cause I tried it your way, and it was okay, but I tried it my way, and it went a lot better. So just that recognition is high. It creates that high enough for me, and it brings out, you know, that second person. I guess if the calm, collective person who doesn't speak, right, that would be like me in my, I guess, docile phase, where I'm just chilling. I'm not really trying to get into anything. But when the record drops, or if I do a good performance, then you get the other nigga. I don't have a name for that shit, but you get that motherfucker that was like locked away as a kid. The randomness, the jokes. Like that's that dude. But yeah, that's really what it comes from. It's just like a key. You know, you open the door and then there that motherfucker is. But I also believe, you know, it's not two different people. It's the same person. It's just different environments. That's really it. Yeah. But
Environment plays a big part in a lot of who we are, what we do.
I'm not.
You know,
You ain't lying.
'cause you can definitely, you know, I mean, it's impossible to take you know, unless, you know, we playing with the idea of alternative universe and shit. But, you know, but it's impossible to take you and then, you know, say, oh, let's put K1 in this environment from a childhood again and see how he turns out.
Did you say K1?
I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna have to edit something, my bad.
I mean, you good. I just don't hear that name often.
I know, but I was just thinking of a baby you know.
Nah, you good. You good. I like, I'm dead ass. I really do not hear that name often.
I know you don't.
Years. Oh, it's so weird. It's like I'm hearing a different person. You have to cut it out. I don't mind. I've already said my name in my video.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is.
'Cause I don't even say it, so it's weird for me to say. But I only say it when I'm
It's
I remember I said your name to my grandma one time, and she was like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "K," and she like, "Oh, that's his name."
Yo, it's
I was like, "Damn, this nigga lived with us and everything."
you know what's really weird? I think I don't remember if it was you or one of my homeboys in like the house, the apartment.
Yeah.
But somebody said my name,
Mhm.
and I literally did not know who they were talking about. Like,
I understand that.
I was like,
A lot of times, if people call my name in public, I won't think you're talking to me. If you say Nicole in public, like just randomly, you're gonna have to say my name at least 2 more times before I even turn around and be like, "Who that?" Like,
what does that mean?
I mean, just nobody calls us by those names.
Is it-
Like, unless I'm at work, then, you know, then I'm more likely to react to it. But like, other than that, if I'm not in a formal situation, then if you don't call me Nick or Cole, or my family calls me Coley, or some type of,
Oh,
some people say Co, you know, without the L.
oh.
Go! You know, like, I'm less likely. I think I have like 2 or 3 friends that call me Nicole. But like, I know that they call me that, so like, I guess it's more of something I don't think about. But if it's their tone of voice and they say Nicole, then I know that they're talking to me. But yeah, if some random, I'll just be thinking you talking to some random white lady behind me if you say Nicole. Because that's happened to me so many times where somebody's like, Nicole, Nicole. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, oh, you're talking to the white girl. No shade to the white girls, but there's just a lot of white women named Nicole. And I've been in the bar or just out on 14th Street somewhere. And somebody's, I'm like, who the fuck is calling my name? And it's not me that they call it. But that's why I don't answer to that name too. Like, it's just, why do I need to answer to that? Because nobody that knows me in a public, open space is going to say Nicole, And I feel like the friends that do call me Nicole, actually, I have to take that back. One of my friends that does calls me Nicole, she would shout my name out in public, but I wouldn't recognize her voice very easily. So I'd be like, oh, that's her. And one of my other friends, I don't think she would shout it off because she's pretty quiet like me, so she'd probably just like text me or some shit. Just like, yo, I see you. Also weird shit.
I've definitely done that before.
Like text somebody and be like, I see you.
I text them with all of y'all out there. Yeah. Definitely text. It depends the setting. Yeah. But you were saying about the environment and how it like affects people.
Yeah. Environments. Without our environment, like, we don't. I feel like this could go into a deep philosophical conversation because it's like your environment gives you a lot of what it is. Contributes a lot to your identity and your personality. Because like there's a lot of, using myself as an example, like where I guess if you could talk to my mom, she could probably tell you some things that I just naturally had as a baby. Like I was always like I didn't make a lot of noise as a baby except like I cried a lot. So and she could never like I didn't do anything else though. Other than that, like I was just pretty straight, just other than that, I cried a lot. And to the point where my mom thought I was autistic because like that's all I did. I didn't really do anything else in between. And I don't know how long this went on, but she eventually took me somewhere, and they were like, no, she just cries a lot. And she was like, leave her alone, let her self-soothe. You know what I'm saying? And so like, I'm like really good at self-soothing sometimes. Or at least I think I'm really good at self-soothing. And like, I can't say, I don't know if my mom didn't do that, like what kind of person I'd be if I wasn't left alone to like soothe myself as a baby. Like I could be the same exact person, or I could be different. You know what I'm saying? If she kept coming in there every single time I cried, would I be more dependent on her or other people to like soothe my sensitivities and whatnot? Or would I be the person that I am now? That I feel like I'm actually a little too self-dependent on myself to like
This is true. This is true.
to like solve my problems to the point where when I have big problems, I don't want to go ask nobody for help because I feel like I should be able to.
Do tell.
There's nothing else to tell. That's just it. Yeah, it's just
It's all good.
I mean, yeah. If I owed somebody like $20,000, I would tell no one.
Do you owe somebody $20,000?
The government. Not the government. Well, yes, the FAFSA. I owe FAFSA like $65,000. So, other than them niggas, like, I don't owe nobody that much money. So, anyway, the point of all that is to say, that like, yeah, I think your environment. I would even say, I mean, there's probably articles about that shit, but I don't read, so, you know. So let me stop saying that. I do read. I just don't read probably anything.
If you text, you read.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I like read actual books and articles and shit, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't read about scientific stuff anymore. Young Cole used to like to read about that kind of shit. But I don't know.
Really?
I was a big science geek.
I didn't even know.
Whatever. I used to be intelligent.
Dang. I knew you were, bro. I knew you were smart. I didn't know you was like science.
Yeah, bro.
What kind of science? Astrology?
Chemistry?
Chemistry?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's hard, yo.
Chemistry's easy, bro.
For real? Yo, I got some chemistry homework coming up. Man, you trying to?
For real? Oh, yeah.
I'm dead. Oh,
Yeah, I might have to like read a little bit to catch up on it, but if it's just basic chem, I can help you out. What kind of chemistry is it?
it's is it chemistry? So they have chemistry 101, right?
Mhm.
Which is like the first one. I passed that one.
Okay.
Chemistry 102, the next level.
Do you know any topics that y'all
I don't
like
know.
balancing equations and shit like that? Have
Listen
y'all
to
done
me.
that?
Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
That homework is like further in the future.
Okay.
Don't worry about it right now. But
I'm excited.
oh wow, that's crazy. Wow, you really live this life. You really live
Dog,
this
if you didn't have to pass biology and calculus to get, I would have came out with a chemistry major, and I probably would have went to graduate school for pharmaceutical engineering.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You was a bad motherfucker.
Not to calculus, I wasn't. Calculus kicked my ass. In biology, I just failed because I didn't turn in my exam. So, yeah. Biology was easy, but I just was a dumbass and got my dates mixed up.
My chemistry teacher, like for the first class I took, he actually, he blessed the class. That's all I'm gonna say. He blessed the classes. You know, shout out to Dr. Shin. Good man.
I didn't know you took like the general
Mm-hmm.
classes and stuff. I thought you were just focusing on your
My major,
yeah.
cybersecurity. So like, I did do like normal college though, like the freshman and the sophomore,
Yeah.
whatnot. And for that, I had to take like the general classes.
Okay.
So
So are you taking the general classes now to finish the major?
I still have some general classes to take. So
Or you need that to get the degree? Oh, okay.
yeah, and I asked about chemistry because I suck at fucking chemistry. Which is crazy because my pops, his like job at one point was like a biochemist or some shit. And he used to do that shit, but shit ain't hit me. So, I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's weird because, I mean, out of my immediate family, I think I'm the only one that's like, I don't want to say good at math, but like, I'm the only one that used to get, like everybody, nobody else I really remember was like excited about math. My brother was, but in a different way. Like, he was really into like geometry and like, what's that shit, architecture type of stuff. So when it comes to like taking numbers and equations and putting them to scale, I guess is the best way to explain it. That was his thing. And then my thing was like, I like chemistry a lot because the numbers like explained the reactions and whatnot. You know, it made everything make sense to me. So like, yeah, I don't think there's anybody everybody else like they're. I don't know. Actually, I should talk to my family more because my grandma, I don't think she's like a math person. You know, she was a nurse, but I don't remember her telling me she was a math person. I think she was more into like history and stuff. My mom, she was more into like just words. She's
English.
yeah, but she wanted to be a lawyer. So, and my sister, she was more the artsy one. We're all kind of creative, but like she was really artsy. Like, that nigga could draw anything. I'll be happy to help. You know, I thought about going back to school simply for chemistry, but then I was like, that's dumb because like I'm not paying all that money to go back to school when I could just pay and take some online classes for fun. So that's probably once because I'm still doing the Jane you told me about, and it's, my cousin hit me to another Jane I could take, so I'm gonna take that one as well.
Okay. Is it in the same field?
Oh yeah,
Nice,
it's, in,
nice,
it's all in the tech support shit.
Get this money.
But after I do that, I'm probably gonna take some chemistry for fun because I do kind of miss that shit.
Whatever you do, yo, just do what makes you happy. That's my whole thing.
Mhm.
I know you are really good at doing what makes you happy. But like, do that.
That's what I want for you, friend.
I want to do what makes me happy. I do. But
What makes you happy, Kay? Let's list it off.
list
I already know one of those things, so you can
well, I
keep
gotta
that out.
list it off anyway. Since
But you can just keep it out.
yeah, no,
You can just-
we here now.
All right, okay.
Number one, sex.
Okay. Yeah,
Just love having sex with females. You know,
all right.
it's the best thing
Yeah.
on the planet.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else better. What was said? Pussy is the sweetest joy. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy.
Yes. But for you, you know, it
It's,
would be the other way around.
no, it'd be both. It'd be like pussy is the greatest joy next to getting pussy.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Second, travel. I love to travel. I don't travel often because of my money situation, which to a lot of people doesn't make much sense. I understand how it doesn't make much sense,
Yeah.
but
I feel you.
it's like it's like I got a goal that I gotta accomplish, and I'd like to get the goal done before I go on and like really travel. Because the type of travel I want to do,
Mhm.
it's not okay, I'm gonna go to California, come back home and work. No, it's I'm gonna go to California, I'm gonna live out there, I'm gonna do some wild shit out there, start some businesses out there,
Okay.
just go all over kind of California networking, just living on the beach. Then I'm gonna go to Rome.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Italy. I'm gonna go to Japan. Do the whole thing. Like I don't want to come back or have to come back to work. Like that's not the plan for me. I'm not going out there so I can take pictures on Instagram and post.
Wait, when are you doing this, my nigga?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
All right, just let me know when you leave.
it's all dependent on really me, and that's what I've really realized. Like as far as my goals go, it's not even on some financial shit or I'm unlucky here. It's more just me getting in my own way for most of the time. Like of course, unfortunate shit does happen, but for the most part, it's me just staying into schedule, not burning out,
Mhm.
and then just keeping up with the things that I say that I'm gonna do and studying. Just really like studying, as simple as it sounds, just fucking doing the work. Third thing I like to do, I like to fish. As weird as that sounds.
No, don't. You're from the Carolinas.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like I wouldn't I wouldn't even move it to top 3, but let's just say what I'm saying is in no specific order. But 3 is fish. My grandma, she took me and my pops fishing out one night. Yo, we left at 2 p.m. maybe 12 in the afternoon. We was out there at 3 a.m. Fish.
That makes sense.
That woman fucking lives this shit. On like everything. She was
That's dope.
this like imagine an old lady. Like she wasn't no like thick old lady who like you feel me? She was like skinny.
Mhm.
Like and she just be out that motherfucker and she had a little hoodie, had a little boots. She was ready too.
Yeah.
Me and my pops, we was slipping, yo. Like
Y'all was going out there, y'all Nikes and shit.
yeah. Yeah, I think I have a New Balances or some shit.
Probably like, what y'all coming out here for, a fashion show?
Yeah, and I think my pops had shorts, and it was like, the closer we got towards the night, it got really, really windy, and the fish just started rolling, and then it was just like, just going, and like I was like, you know, keeping up with her, but just looking over at her cooler, it was like stacked full of niggas, and then looking at my shit, I probably had like three good catches, but it was so funny, cause like I hadn't gone fishing in such a long time, and I forgot, like when you fish, it's just a lot of shit you can think about, you know?
Yeah.
Like me and my pops, we had a conversation, and I can honestly say my entire life, or my entire adult life, it's probably one of the deepest conversations we've ever had, cause couldn't go nowhere. She gave us the ride out there, so it's not like we just go. Mind you, we probably could have Ubered, but neither one of us wanted to. But yeah, it was deep. And then every time I caught a fish, or I didn't catch a fish, I just learned something, like just something new about life. Like it was one fish I caught, and the fish was like some very common fish, right? So, and it was bony. It was a bony fish. But I had it, and I held it in my hand, and the dude next to me was like, "Oh, you don't want that fish? That thing full of bones. All you gonna eat is bones. You throw that fish back in the water where you found it." But I was like, I told him like, "Yo, but I caught this fish. I'm proud of my catch." He was like, "No, throw that fish in the water. You gonna see a lot more of them throughout the day." And I did. I saw a lot more of them bony fishes. It was just like, I don't know why, but they was just like the thing to do. So threw it back, waited. I was like, all right, bet. And what that taught me was like, even though something is convenient and it's there, it may not be what you need. Even though all the signs point towards this should be it, you have to have the willpower and the kind of mindset to know what you're fishing for. And at the time, I didn't know what I was fishing for, but I knew I wanted something big, and I wanted something that I could eat without bones and shit. So I waited, finally caught me a fish. It was one of the three, and it was like this little, I forgot what it's called, but it definitely had a lot less bones. And I think the camera about to die.
Oh, it'll be alright. We got 6 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, but it was just a real cool lesson.